Hi there, guys. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rita and I am the cooking nurse. And if you're new here, you're welcome. My returning subscribers, you know how much I treasure you. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. By the way, we hit 4K, I think 4.1 now. Thank you so much for always choosing to stay, and I love you. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this royal dish. Yes, it used to be a royal dish, but nowadays you can just make it at home. I mean, you're also a royal, you're a queen, okay? So let's get into the cooking. So usually you can put anything, just that it used to be chicken, but now you can do nuts, you can do beef, you can even do pork if you want. So just cooking sauce in banana leaves. I'm going to be showing you how I do it in my home. Let's go. So right now I have this chicken. I sent for chicken and someone brought me a broiler, but we're going to be working with that. So I have my mpombo. Those are the banana leaves we'll be using. I have some other banana leaves and those ones for tying, the luwombo. And then here I have my ingredients. I have the capsicums, red, yellow, green. I have some tomatoes, an onion, a lemon, olive oil, some dhania, garlic and carrot, and then I'll be using these Royco cubes, the chicken flavor ones. I'm going to keep it minimal, not a lot of spices, yeah, because usually this is like the traditional way of making food. And in those days, they used not to put a lot of spices, though I don't condemn spices because some of them are really beneficial to our health. If you read about them, if you search about them, yeah. So if you want to use some of those ones for their health benefits, please go ahead and use them. I just didn't want to overload this one and, you know, overshadow the flavors. So I'm going to go on and chop all my ingredients. I'm using these sweet peppers and I'm not blending any of them or like fine doing them because I love that when you cook them, they still stay colorful and then they become more sweet, you know. The sweet peppers have that flavor that comes through when you cook them as a whole. But if you want, you can just blend them, no problem. Okay, so chop all of them and prepare them aside. It just makes work easier. Like you don't have to forget this, and then as you're going, the thing is burning, and then you're putting this. So yeah, just chop everything. Man, the other knife was disturbing, so I'm going to be using this big one. So for my tomatoes, I don't like seeing tomato skin and I don't want to be blending them. And if you cook luwombo like this, it's just going to cook itself and then the skin is going to peel off and be separate. And I hate that most times. Even when I don't peel my tomatoes, I just want like them thoroughly cooked so that the skin is not shown. Or you can just simply peel them if you don't have this particular machine. So this thing here has been a lifesaver. It makes kachumbali, it makes salsa, it makes those dipping sauces, the fresh ones, just a herb chopper. Just put your things in, the vegetables, and basically pull. It will be doing the chopping on the inside. Mine, I think, needs some oil or something. It sometimes reaches a point and then it doesn't pour. So as you can see, I'm going to keep on adding because when you overload it in the beginning, it will not turn. I keep on adding in until I have a finer consistency like this. Just add in pepper here and some dhania and some onions, and you have the best dipping salsa ever. Anyways, this is like available in all supermarkets. Not all, but yeah, if you look for it, you'll get it. Now I'm gonna go on and cut open my chicken because luwombo, usually you don't like oversee it. Once you cover it, you're done. You're just going to open it when you're going to serve. And most times chicken can tend not to be seasoned. So if you're using like the other hard chicken of ours, the local one, you may need to not overgo this stage. So I'm going to be using lemon because the acidity in the lime juice usually breaks down some of the hard fibers or the hard muscles in the meats, and that leads to tenderizing. Yeah, I don't know if I'm using the right words, but yeah, the meat will become more softer and easier to penetrate with whatever seasoning you're going to be using. So rub my lemon juice in, and then I'll get my salt and rub it also around, because I'm going to be letting it sit for a while as it absorbs all this salt. Otherwise, you'll have your bland or unsalted chicken if you're using the hard one. Yeah, you may have an unsalted chicken if you didn't season it properly in the beginning. So I'll let it sit there. There we have our gizzard, our nkoko nkulu. That is for the man of the house. He may not eat it, I'll eat it myself, but yeah, you can't fail to mention that that is for the man of the house. Anyways, I'm going to go on and fry my other ingredients a little bit, just a little bit, to add in more flavor. I'm using some little olive oil and then put everything in here. See the crunch? Yeah, that is the thing I want at the end of the cooking, so that the soup is not completely plain. So just fry these ones for a short time, and then you add in your tomatoes. You see those tomatoes? If you don't have this machine, you can just blend them in a blender or just fine chop them, but make sure you peel them so that you don't have the remaining of the tomato skin. That one, when it's cooked and it's on top, it looks weird and no one actually eats it. Anyways, so I'm going to add in a tablespoon of tomato paste just for some thickness and add a little more color. Plus, this tomato paste itself is seasoned, it has salt in it, so you need to be sure, cross-check the things you're going to be using to avoid over seasoning your soup or your stew or your food. And our Royco cubes go in right now, and a small sprinkle of salt. Myself, I don't measure things, but I try and test on the go, like as I cook. I keep on checking, is the salt enough, is the other thing enough? Yeah, because I'm African. Anyways, adding some Irish. I'm adding only 3 because I'm going to be making 2 pombos. One for the family, one for the man of the house, because it's not here right now and we'll have to wait, so we can't open and cover again. I'm adding in some small water, because when it cooks, that steam is going to add in its own water, and we don't want a river for soup. Usually, Luwombo is served to one person. Each pack is given to one person, and no one wants a dish of water. No one wants to be drinking water, so don't put in a lot of water unless you're cooking for many people. And now, first, I'm going to put my chicken on the fire directly because I want it to dry up. I want the salt to sink in, and then after that, I'll add on some banana peelings. Yeah, I think you've seen me do this some time back. Look at that first look at that. The chicken looks like burnt, and that smoky scent is really good. It gives it a crispy skin. So now I'm going to go on with my banana peelings. Like I'd said, these ones, when they are burning, they bring up some flavor, some kind of flavor. And then I'll just put it directly on and then cover it for a bit, maybe about 10 minutes or so, and then turn it. Yeah, some of these foods, the traditional way of cooking, needs some patience. You may need to be patient to get the right thing. So this chicken is actually almost ready, but if it was the other local chicken in Nyankore, it would take a little bit of some time. So remove it now, and then remove those banana peelings, set them aside, put on more charcoal if you're using a charcoal stove or whatever, and then let it be burning, because you're almost putting the food back on the fire. Now I'm going to chop it into how many pieces I want. Usually I chop it into small, so that each one of the pieces is like well seasoned. Each of them, we don't get a chunk of meat. A fun fact, I don't love meat. I love the bones. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. I love the bones. So if I'm going to be eating meat, the bones must be seasoned, and I don't want a huge chunk of meat. Anyways, let's go on and assemble our luwombo. So these banana leaves, I bought them in the market. Each was like 1,500, but you can make these ones at home. I'll tag a video of my luwombo, Ginat luwombo. I made those ones at home. You can see, you just burn them on fire and they are like steam them. Yeah, they are like softer. So anyways, I usually to remove the inside one and put it on top now, and then I'm going to be cutting on this extra one for later use. So arrange it properly and make sure it's not torn, because we don't want our soup to go through, and then assemble in your meats the way you want. Make sure the bones are not so sharp so they will not tear your banana leaf. After putting in your chicken, we are going to go on with our mixture that we had made previously and put it on top. If you want, you can add in some little water so that you don't have plain meat. You have some small soup in there. Actually, I did that. I added in some small water, small, and then I'll get this Luwombo, the small banana leaf, and put it on top of the chicken so that it traps in more steam and also adds more flavor. Gently collect the banana leaves, holding them carefully so that they don't tear, and then make like a bag. Yeah, like a bag, like that, how you're seeing it. And then get your tying, whatever you're using. You can use a thread, you can use a banana fiber. I'm using these ones from the behind of the banana leaves. And then tie it, and you're done. Boom, you're done with your Luwombo. This used to be like a royal dish, or maybe for like a executive guests. If you want to show your respect and that you honor these people, you would make this. In my culture, it wasn't so common, but I've seen it in other cultures in Uganda, like Uganda. If you're in Uganda, hi, how are you guys? We learned how to make this, and here we are enjoying a delicacy. So anyways, I'm going to go on with my saucepan where I'm going to be cooking. I first put in these like barriers for water. Whatever you have, use it. Whatever you have, you can use the stem of the banana, a bunch of banana, ichikongore, ichikorokomba. I don't know how you call it in English, but use whatever you have to make sure the water does not come up directly. If you have a steamer, well and good. You know, the modern day, no one is here to suffer. Anyways, I'm using these ones, and I'm just going to trap the water below and then make sure it doesn't come up. So the water is down, add all these things so that the water doesn't come in, and then I'll add in my banana leaves that I'm going to be using to, cover my pan, and then I'll put in my Luwombo. The essence is to make sure the flavor is on point, and these banana leaves are going to do that for you. So use enough banana leaves. And I've seen people use foil, like put in these banana leaves and then put foil and then drop in the oven. I've not tried that before, but I hope it works and it's perfect. So don't be strained to say, I don't have banana leaves, so I can't have Luwombo. If you can have Mpombo from the inside ones, then I think you can make things work, okay? If you can't access banana leaves like people in the diaspora, if you have these small ones and can't have the ones for covering, just use those ones. Put in foil in the oven and go. We are here to eat good food. The end will always justify the means. Anyways, our Luwombo is well cooked. This has been on the charcoal stove for about 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours, because the charcoal stove doesn't usually run out so quickly, and I wasn't rushing anywhere. So 2 hours, but I think even 1.5 hours is enough. Even more, the more it stays on low heat, the better. The flavors will settle in and it will be perfect. So we're going to go on and uncover it and then remove it. Also, if you are African and you complain that things are hot, you may need to cross-check. You may not be African enough. That was a joke. So anyways, go on ahead and open the Luwombo, your meal. This one I'm going to serve it right now. The other one I'm going to keep it. And man, the flavor that comes from in there, the flavor. Anyway, open it perfectly well and look at that. Look at that. Yo, this gonna be a daily meal now. Anyways, the Luwombo is done. I don't know how many times I say anyways in a video, but yeah, Thank you so much, guys, for watching up until this time. Our luwombo is ready. We're going to serve this with steamed rice and some matoke. There's Irish inside there for the little ones, or maybe if you also love Irish. The chicken is nice and tender, well seasoned to the bone. To the bone. Look at that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment on what you think the video was like, or I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye.